So, before we start today's lesson, Maya, please sit down. I know, but please sit. You're being a distraction to everybody else. Please sit. So, before we start today's lesson, I have a small. I'm going to start with a small audio clip that I would like to play for you once everybody is seated completely. So, before we actually play it, I just want you to listen to the words of this clip and think about the words that are being said, and believe it or not, it'll actually be able to be tied to what our lesson actually is for today. Okay?
I am Ted Wiggins, and I speak for the trees. And the fact is, things aren't perfect here in Thneeville. And they're only going to get worse unless we do something about it.
Quietly listen. Thanks, guys.
Unless we change our ways. And we can start by planting this. Okay, come on now, everything's fine, right? I say we tell this kid what we think about that seed. People, come on!
Come on! Is that it?
Yes, that is it for
I
now.
think about
Quiet. Okay, so boys and girls, that clip is actually, believe it or not, serves as a great introduction to our next writing unit. And our next writing unit, as I think we've mentioned a couple of times previously, is based on persuasion and persuasive essays, which you guys will be writing at the end of this unit. You will be writing a persuasive essay. And believe it or not, persuasion works in speeches, much like the first voice that we heard did. Persuasion works in speeches much the same way it works in writing. You make a point, you make a stand, and then you say what you believe and support that belief. So what he did was exactly the same reason. He stated that things are well. He stated that things are not well right now, and that we need to change the way we think and focus more on, as you guys all said, trees. So, with that being said, today what we're going to focus on is we're going to actually write we are going to come up with topics, possible topics, similar to some of the steps that we used when we worked on our personal essays. We're going to come up with topics about which to write for our persuasive essay. You're not going to be picking your actual topic, but you're going to be deciding whether an essay works or not for your, whether a topic works for your essay or not, and you're going to also determine whether or not your potential ideas are strong or not to write for your persuasive essay. So, with that being said, if I could get a volunteer to turn off one of the lights over there, I'm going to need 2 volunteers. So, Henry, if you could go turn off the light, one of the lights, and Jabril, if you could bring me that large Post-it pad, that would be awesome. It's on the back U-shaped table. Just one. Thank you so much. Guys, boys and girls, quiet, please. Right there. Thank you so much. Guys, it should be quiet right now. We should not. I should hear no voices talking at this juncture. Okay. Thank you, Terrell. Okay, so I realized before I start talking about persuasive essay, it's important to actually know what persuasion means and what persuade means. So I thought this chart would be a little helpful, and Ms. Brand said that as well. So to start, To persuade means to cause someone to do something through reasoning or an argument, which is what the boy in the audio clip that we played was trying to do. He was trying to persuade them to care about trees, right? So, by making a reason. And his reason was, things aren't great right now. For a myriad, it was a very simplistic argument, but that was what he was trying to do. Persuasion is the act of persuading someone to do something. Okay? So that's what you do when you persuade someone. So therefore, a persuasive essay or writing is an essay or writing in which the author attempts to persuade, to get a reader to agree with their view through arguments, research, and ideas. So basically, persuasive writers and persuasive essays are done to try to change someone's mind and to agree with a stated belief. So before an essay writer or an author can write a persuasive essay, they need to come up with a topic. And if you remember from our previous unit, one of the things that we did was brainstorming, right? So brainstorming, just to remind you guys, as a short refresher, is a technique to stimulate creative thinking and develop ideas. But, and if you remember, we did a couple of different things. It was this idea about something that, with the personal essay, it was something that you believe or are passionate about, right? That you're interested in. Well, that's great, but I think we found out that something that you believe or are passionate in might not always be make the best essay topic, right? We went through that. So with that, the problem with persuasive essays is you have to be able to persuade someone to agree with your belief or your point of view. So with that, there's a really good technique that I utilize when I'm trying to persuade someone to do something. It's called the 3-question technique. And with that, there's 3 types of questions that you can typically ask yourself. 1, and to generate some idea topics. 1, how could the world change for the better? 2, is there anything people do that I think is wrong or unfair? So, people bully people. It happens in our school, unfortunately. Probably. Not in this class, though, right? So, with that being said, that would be something that might make a good topic, right? Because I think bullying is unfair. I just do. I was bullied when I was younger, and I thought it was extremely unfair.
Yes.
And then the third one is, some people think blank, but I think blank. So basically, if I was going to write an essay, and I wanted to say, some people think not exercise, playing video games is the best way to spend your free time and the healthiest way to spend your free time. But I think exercising is the best and healthiest way to spend your free time. That would be another example of how to do that. Alexis. Yes, quickly. Declan?
And then in this case, the guy thinks trees is the best.
Yep, that is correct. So, as we were talking about this, right, when we were talking about what might make a good essay topic, right? Do you remember that from last time? We talked about how some essay ideas, just because it's an idea that pops into our head that we brainstorm, it might not be the best, it might not make the strongest essay topic. So, there's a way to check to see if an essay topic is going to be good particularly for a persuasive essay. I know that there's 3 key components to every persuasive essay. 1 is the topic. Would the topic be interesting is the topic interesting to me? Because I'm the one who's going to have to research it. And 2, just as important is the topic. Would the topic be interesting to others? Because somebody's got to read it, right? And no one's going to want to read my essay if they don't think if it's not on an interesting topic. 2, is the topic an idea or a topic that someone can have different opinions on or believe different things about, right? Because I'm trying to persuade someone to think the way that I think. So if everybody agrees on the same topic, that we shouldn't have school on Saturdays, and everybody agrees it, then how am I going to really be able to persuade you to agree with me if it's something that everybody believes is true and there is no differing belief? And lastly, and probably most importantly, is this last question. Will I be able to research about it? How easy will it be to research about it? And we will be discussing how to research later. Maya, can you please put your jacket off of your head? Can you do that for me? All the way up. All the way. Thank you. Can I research about it? Because here's the thing. When we're researching, a very key part of this process, of the persuasive writing process, is you have to back up your beliefs with research, with facts, data, arguments. Those are the things that we're going to be researching in this essay, and that's a very crucial component because you have to have reasons why you believe what you believe, more in depth, and they have to be research-driven. Questions? Henry.
Can I use the bathroom?
Quickly. Thank you. Declan.
So can we write something that we know a lot about? Because I thought that could be a good idea.
It could be, but you got to remember too, just because you know about it, you need to seriously answer the question. And we might not be able to answer all of these questions, right, off the bat. That's why you're going to be today, by the end of today, you're going to have 3 potential topics to write on, right? Because you might think, oh yeah, there's going to be a ton of information about this to research on. But then you might get into the research process and be like, oh my gosh, I can't find anything. I mean, that happens to me a lot. I think that's a great idea. For papers that I have in college, happen all the time. And then I would have to tweak it and come up with a different topic. So, yeah, it can be something that comes from is it interesting to me, right? If it's something you know a lot about or care about, it's something that's interesting to you. But it's got to be something that you can prove with research, data, and facts. Merrick.
Explain on that. So basically what we'll be doing today is we're writing, but in our writing we're answering those questions because we've already wrote our introduction.
This is a completely new unit. Yep, it's a completely new unit, remember? This is our new unit. It's on persuasive writing. Right. So, okay? Understood? New unit. We transitioned. Remember, Ms. Brand said on Thursday that we were starting a new unit? So, Luke, any other questions before I start? Henry's in the bathroom right now. Yes. 1 second, Jabril. Well, I mean, he could it's just an example of how we persuade others to try to think like we do. It wasn't a supreme, in-depth, persuasive, writing or essay. And it might not have even then been that strong, right? Because it was meant to be kind of a humorous movie. But, other things people might try to persuade one another to do. So, Angela.
So you write something to make a passionate about?
That other people can believe with a differing view. So it should be something you're passionate about. Remember, these three questions can help generate and drive your brainstorming. Mira?
We're writing, so we're keeping things about that we know a lot about.
How about you let me explain to you what you're going to do, because I'm going to actually demonstrate. How does that sound? Good idea? Excellent. Any other questions? Declan, did you have one more?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll get a chance to chat about it. So I'm going to move this over here just so we can keep it for helpful future reference. And I'm going to demonstrate for you what exactly you'll be doing here in a few moments. Okay, so with this, once everything gets up, Henry, if you would hit the second light, that would be a big help for me. Okay? So, when I'm looking at this, this is a form that you'll all be getting. I'm going to zoom in a little bit on this. This will be a form that you're all going to get with a couple of, it's the same topic. It is the exact same. You'll have, as you can see, there's different boxes here for each of these ideas, and you're going to have space to come up with ideas. You can write it down on the back of your, on the back of your sheet, on a scratch sheet of paper. But the bottom line is, when we're brainstorming, we need to think about. There's multiple ways that you can brainstorm. Those 3 questions, the 3-question technique, is a great place to start. So for me, I was thinking when I was getting prepared for this lesson today that I don't know about you guys, but when I was younger, I had an allowance. I got an allowance, I got some money, and but the thing was, I had to do chores, right? I had to do chores to get that money. But some of my friends didn't really have to do chores; they just got the allowance, and that always made me wonder, like, what that was kind of like. So for me, I know that some people think that you should just get your allowance, but I think, hold on, I think that. So for my topic idea, I'm going to write right here. I'm going to write, my topic idea is, work for their allowance. Okay, so with that, that's my topic idea, right? Children should have to work for their allowance. If they get it, they should have to work for it. And I kind of generated that idea by, if we remember, some people think, but I think, and so my some people think statement would be, some people think children should not have to work for their allowance. But I think they should have to work and do chores to get their allowance. Thumbs up if we understand that for the brainstorming idea. Thumbs up if we understand that for the brainstorming idea and what we have to do with this. Amaya, do you understand? I can't see your thumbs. Do you understand what I'm doing here? Okay, so with that, now if you notice on the second part of this question on this sheet, is it a strong idea? So how do I determine whether a persuasive essay topic is a strong idea? Well, Mr. Walsh is so helpful. He actually created another worksheet for you guys to use. Yeah, there's a strong guy holding the entire world and this really weak guy. So he can't even lift that barbell. Okay, so is my topic interesting to myself and to others? I mean, obviously, from my perspective, I know a lot of you all have allowances, right? And I know a lot of you. So it obviously is interesting to you guys. Hold on, guys. Hold on. Pay attention. This is kind of important. Henry and Luke. Let's just pay attention. We're almost done, and then we're going to be moving forward. Okay. So I'm going to say yes for that. Is that safe to assume that the answer of yes to my topic about that I think children should have to work and do chores for their allowance is an interesting topic?
Yes.
Okay. Is it a topic that people may have differing views on?
Yes. Yes.
Right, because it's kind of a polarizing issue. Like if you were getting your allowance and you didn't have to do any chores around the house, you probably would think, well, wait, why do I need to do chores around the house to get my allowance? It's just been coming. So is yes an okay answer for that?
Yeah.
Okay. And here's the final one. Will I be able to find information and research the topic?
No.
No.
You don't think I'll be able to find information about
You
this?
will be able to find information about your experiences, but not like studies.
You might be able to, though. How do we know without looking for it? Do you think it's
I would
something
say
that's...
maybe.
Google. That's true because they're all scientific studies.
Declan, are you teaching the lesson right now? Okay, Declan. Ignore it. Ignore it. Thank you. So, I'm going to circle this with a yes because, as I mentioned previously, a topic may initially seem like a very strong topic and answer yes to all three of these questions, right? It might not be until I'm actually in the research process that I find it to be difficult, and maybe find that the answer to question 3 isn't yes, and I was wrong. And then I have to go back to the drawing board. That's why we have 3 topics. So, if you can answer, the key to this when determining whether or not an essay is a topic for a persuasive essay is strong or not is you need to be able to conceivably tell me, circle yes to all of these questions on the back of the sheet. And then when you come back to it, the front side of the sheet, we get to the part where, is it a strong idea? I'm going to say yes. Why do you think it's a strong idea? That is the important question. You need to be able to explain why you think your essay topic idea is a strong idea. So, I'm going to say that I think this is a strong idea because it is interesting, because most kids... Maya, please stop. Okay, this is me asking, put your hands in your lap, please, for me. Can you please put your hands in your lap for me? I'm asking for them. Thank you very much. Please put them in your lap and leave them there until I tell you to move them, okay? Most kids have allowances. But not all have to work for them. And I think I can research this. So obviously, again, the key thing to remember is you can answer yes to all 3 of those questions that I wrote, but we might not know until we're actually trying to research it. But that's why it's important not to research something that is strictly an opinion. Like me saying that I think pizza is the best food on the planet, it's going to be very difficult to research. Right, Amaya? because it's just an opinion about that I have. So, with that being said, I want to ask you guys some questions about persuasive writing, okay, and persuasive essays. What does it mean to persuade somebody? Can someone tell me? Henry, what does it mean to persuade somebody?
To convince them that something is better or it's just better than something else.
Okay. And what does it mean when you try to persuade someone? Henry, just to pull out on that a little bit more.
It's kind of like you are stating your case in court about something you feel very strongly about, and how, like with you feel very strongly about how people should get allowances, but they should have to work for them. Somebody may say, I think I should just give my child $5. And you persuading is to convince them that that is not right and that your child has to work for the $5.
So basically, persuade them that your belief is correct,
Yes.
right? To change their mind. Okay, so what is something important that we've learned about brainstorming today? Like, have you learned anything new, any new techniques for brainstorming ideas? Holden, did you learn any new brainstorming ideas? What idea did you learn that was new?
Some people say bad.
Okay. What other questions could we ask? Declan, what's another way?
You can ask how could the world like get better?
Okay.
Like, so basically you could say like you to persuade somebody.
Mm-hmm.
You could say to use an example as the tree thing. You could say, I think the world should have trees because it would make the world have better oxygen. Because plants up there top are good oxygen.
So, do we agree? Does anyone disagree with what Declan and Holden both said for that? Does anyone disagree that those are good brainstorming ideas? No one? All right. Yes, Henry.
I don't really feel, I feel that, like, about my topics that I think I can write about, I feel sort of strong about them, but what I did for the last unit, I really feel strongly about it, and I never really got to turn that into real paper. Can I do that same topic?
If you can research it, you might be able to, but you need to it needs to be an opinion that you have that people would have different opinions on. Remember, and that brings me back to the next point. How do we tell? Can somebody tell me how you would know if a topic idea that you brainstormed is a strong one? What is one thing that you can tell me about that would be important for me to do? Alexis, what would be one? Never mind. Terrell, what's one thing that I could do to check to see whether or not my topic idea is a strong one?
If you or somebody has different views around it.
Okay. What is another way that I can check? Does anyone disagree with what Terrell said about that?
I agree.
Okay, so you agree. Thumbs up if we think Terrell got in one particular way. Declan, what's another way?
If you could maybe like look around and see what, so like recycling is something good. It doesn't have to be something that you know best. It just has to be something that's good that you could argue.
Okay, so is it something that, so by good you can argue, do you mean interesting?
Yeah, like it's interesting, like
Okay.
how recycling can help other kids.
Okay. So thumbs up if we agree with Declan's answer there, guys. Thumbs up. Do we agree that that could be something? So if it's interesting to you or to others. And what is one other way that we could determine whether or not a persuasive topic is potentially a strong one or weak? Henry, what's one other way?
Do people have different opinions on it?
We actually just said that. Is there another way that you can think of? Luke, what is one other way?
Ask, like
If it's a strong topic idea. Remember, I just talked about this. Do you want someone to help you out, possibly, with it? Okay, Declan, do you have another one that could be another way to determine whether or not something's a strong topic or not? We've got it's interesting to yourself and to others. People have different opinions on it. What did I say was the most important one for this?
Is there anything people do that I think is wrong or unfair?
That is a great way to determine a topic. To brainstorm from a topic. You answer that question and you've got your topic. So I think the last one, guys, is, and this is just the quick one, is whether it's researchable. Remember, that was the one debate that we had about the kids. So what we're going to do now with the time that we have left before gym, and this might seep into our social studies time after gym, is you are going to work with the partner, the person I named. You are going to brainstorm one topic idea, present it to your partner, continue to listen to me because I'm only going to say this one time. You are going to brainstorm a topic idea, share it with your partner, and your partner is going to determine whether or not your topic idea is a strong one or not, based on the back of this sheet. Does everyone understand?
yes.
Are there any questions? Once you're done with this, you will need to, please be quiet, you will need to come up with 2 more topic ideas and answer the questions. You will be working with your partner on this.
Who's your partner?
Your partner is the person whose name I said when I was with you.
I may have been the best name.
I will let you know who your partners are if you do not know. You're with April. You're with Luke. No, you're not in a group. You will be working with Luke. And your partner will also be explaining why they believe your essay topic is a strong one or a weak one. You are partners with Frida. You sat down here, remember? You were. This is only for this assignment. It's okay. Your partner is a great fit based on that. So, your partner is... Guys, we should be doing this quietly. Angela, your partner is...
Called you a sharpen.
Yvonne, your partner is... Terrell. So work with Terrell quickly. And then also, guys, boys and girls, before the end of the day, this sheet will be turned in. Mira, your partner is... Mira, you're working with Robert. I told you, sit around across. I set it up, remember? We should be working, guys. You should get at least through the one topic with your partner.